What is going on, you guys? This is Ian Walker from Obsidian Games here with another new YouTube video for you guys here. I wanted to do a video this week talking about what I do to prepare for solo role play. So for those of you that are interested in the hobby, it is a growing hobby, something that's becoming increasingly more popular. I'm going to go ahead and give you some tips and tricks that I do in order to get ready for a campaign myself, as well as some resources that I have here. Now, you don't get intimidated by all these books you see here. I don't use every single one of these, but this will be something that you guys can use for yourself, and you can pick and choose what you guys think will be good enough for you guys to start your own solo role playing adventures. And knowing that it doesn't have to be overwhelming, it doesn't have to be overly complicated or crazy or anything like that. And the most important thing to remember is just have fun. Just it's your story, it's your game. But before I jump into that, I just wanted to give you guys a huge thanks so much for the last video that I put out, which was my solo role playing kit. It got quite a lot of views. I was very happy with that. And so, those of you who saw that video and shared it with others, I really appreciate it. So, if you like the content that you see and that I'm putting out for you guys, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and also share that information with others as well. Okay. So, I just want to get right into the nitty gritty of the video here. I don't want to waste any if you guys' time. I know your time is precious, so I want to jump right in here. So, the first thing that you'll need, first couple things you'll need. When you're getting into solo role playing is a journal. This is my personal bullet journal here, and I have written down all of my adventures in here. As you see in the last video that I did, I also showed off this journal along with another one that I have. But this is something that you'll have that will keep all of your notes. You're the only person that's going to be writing in this thing that'll know what all these things mean. So, you'll need to have that something in here like this. And it doesn't have to be fancy like this. If you have one of those old school, like school journals that you use, you could use that. Go into a Dollar Tree and grab something like that. Grabbing some pens or whatever, you could do that. A nice set of pens is good as well. As you see in my journal here, I like to draw in my journal. That helps me with immersion personally. So I have a nice set of micron pens here that I use. I'm a comic book artist by trade, an illustrator. So I have all of these things. Again, you don't have to use these things. You can go to a Dollar Tree, grab some old school big pencils and pens, and a schoolyard booklet, and just have at it. I mean, it's just that simple. But these are the base things that you're going to need to get started. Of course, you're going to need your polyhedral dice, um, which is a set of dice that are a part of your role playing experience there. Again, I'll leave links for all of that in the video so that you'll know where to get those. The second thing you guys are going to want to need to look into is a system of play for your role playing game. What you want to play. Now, the most popular system out right now is D&D 5e, and a lot of people are trying to figure out ways of playing that solo. There are a few books here that I highly recommend. One is Karn. If you're into D&D, and like I said, you kind of want a more simplified version of that, Karn is very cool because it has a lot of classes. It's D&D, but pretty much very simplified, and it kind of gives you a lot of tables and things that you might want to look into for character creation, things like that. So I would definitely check out Karn as one example. Another one that just recently came out, and they're actually working on another edition right now. It's called Knave. This is another simplified version of 5e Dungeons and Dragons. Has more of an OSR vibe. So if you're wanting that real old school fantasy feel, you could definitely take a look at Karn. There's a lot of tables, rules for encounters and dungeon delving and all of that. Okay. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a little bit partial. I have my own system that I've come up with and that I'm currently developing called Horizon Legends tabletop role playing game. And this is I guess, the beta version of that quick start guide that I have. There's actually going to be a finalized version of this coming out soon, but this is available on TTRPG if you want to grab your hands, get your hands on that. But again, a very simple game that really focuses on narrative and dice rolling. Again, just using a simple set of polyhedral dice. Finally, for the real old school enthusiasts, you have your white box system. Again, same thing, kind of that old school essentials vibe here. Very simplified way of going about combat. Use a simple dice and all of that. So look into whichever system that you are interested in and figure that out, and then you'll go from there. Okay. Now some of these have adventures in the back of them that you can use and go through. I'm not sure. I don't think. Oh, I saw this one has adventures. The white box has them, but there are some that have solo adventures in them, and you can utilize those for your adventures if you can't come up with something yourself here. And I'm going to get into a book in the last part of this video, which really helps me when it comes to fantasy settings and coming up with a story on the fly when I just want to sit down, not think too much about what's going on and all of that. If you're wanting to do things on your own and kind of come up with certain things on your own through your own imagination, what I always advise is getting a book of tables. I love science fiction and fantasy. I tend to merge the two. So I have this book of random tables for science fiction here. And that's really all it is. It's just a book of tables that you have. You have your various encounters and jobs here. So if you take one element, take your 100-sided dice, take an element of that and just roll and write each thing down, you can come up with an adventure really quick within 5 to 10 minutes. Less than 5 minutes, honestly, if you really think about it. So coming up with something is very easy for your solo role playing. And these are nice because they really get down to specifics. So this is why I picked up this specific one by Matt Davids. He's really good. I'll have links for that as well. For fantasy and dungeon delving, the same thing. He has dungeons and dungeons encounters in here that you can use. He has complications, traps, items in the room. So you can, now this one here is a little bit more involved because what you'll be doing is you'll be taking a lot of these elements and building your dungeons from this book and then just doing the dungeon delve. Not too much role playing, nothing like that. But if you just want to hack and slash, go through a dungeon, you can do that. On a personal note, if I'm not playing Rising Legends, just want to do a dungeon delve, I'll meld these two together, creating a dungeon, creating a setting, finding a planetary setting, creating a dungeon based on that, and then putting in all of the things in there for that. Okay. Excuse me. So the final book that I want to show you guys, this one is, for me, is a treasure. So this is called Endless Adventure. It's a book by Stephen Chabot. I want to say it's Chabot. This book here has all kinds of adventures here. It tells you exactly how to go about the adventure. And all of these are just adventures that you could just go open up the book, literally blindfold, and just pick a page and bam. All right, I'm working on playing the game, The Hive of Glacial Consciousness. So if you're playing that solo game, you just go through the game, you go through all of the things here, and you will, and you can go ahead and play that. Okay. Now, another thing that is of major importance, and unfortunately, I don't have copies of them here. I have them mostly through PDFs, but is our oracles, decision making, decision making type. I don't want to say software, but documents. I know that there's a one-page oracle out there. I'll link that in the description below so you can go and find that. Another very popular one is Mythic Emulator. A lot of people tend to use that with Dungeons and Dragons when they're playing Pathfinder and things of that nature. when I'm playing my game, I've created a very, very, very simple oracle for my game, which encourages just making a decision, moving forward, using the dice as the decision maker. And that's just an oracle of definitely, most likely, possibly, unlikely, most likely. And then, so doing this as well as using the 50-50 system of percentage dice. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps you honest, because when you're playing solo, sometimes, there may be an element of self-sabotage there, where you're tempted to kind of fudge your rolls or something like that. But there will be times when you're solo role playing where you might need to, if your character, you know, your character walks into the dungeon and your rolls are just bad and he just falls into the cavernous abyss on the first turn. That's no fun. So, you may have to call some audibles in certain instances. But in regard to making the dice your arbiter, it really keeps you honest. And you may come up with ideas in your solo RPG campaign that you're playing. And what I like to do is, embrace it. Write that, make that an option. Make that an option, make that a couple of options, and just roll a D4. And whichever one pops up, that's a decision that you go with. So you're not beholden to saying, oh, okay, well, I'm metagaming because I came up with this in my head and I'm just going to go with it. Well, by writing it down and making that idea an option, you're not metagaming, you're just making it a part of the game. And if the dice fall that way, then hey, you're it's all good. You can keep it going. So so finding a good oracle that you're comfortable with is going to be important as well when you're playing. When you're doing solo RPG, again, it's your game. Okay. Don't worry about hard and fast rules. This is time that you have to yourself. This is your time to relax. So it's really important that you try your best to make everything as simple as possible. That's why I'm saying, if you're really getting into this for the first time, you don't have to get all of this fancy stuff. Yeah, I'll make it so that it's easy for you to find. Like, I'll put the links and everything, but it's not necessary. You don't have to get all this fancy stuff to start playing, because what will end up happening is you'll have this decision paralysis, you know, and you have all these options, and you're spending more time preparing and decorating and all of that instead of actually playing the game. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us end up doing most of the time, especially if we're really new to it and we don't have somebody kind of guiding us. So that's what I'm hoping that my videos are for you guys. These are a real guide to help you to understand how simple solo role playing can be and how fun it can be as well. And just giving you a few things to kind of help you along your way. And if you're watching this video and you're seeing everything, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave me a comment. I'll answer your comments right away and help you out in any way that I can. So that's what I do for my solo role play. That's how I prepare. And again, if there's any question that you guys have regarding solo role play, if you are interested in the things that I get, I'll tag a lot of these products that I mentioned here in the description of the video below. If you want to put together a solo role playing kit for yourself that you maybe want to take with you, I'll put up the link for the last video that I have. I'll put that like right here, or something like that, so that you guys can check that video out right after. And also make it a part of the end cap video at the end of this video. So if you want to check that video out, you don't want to search for it, I'll leave it. Just go to the end of the video and that video will pop up for you as well. But again, excuse me, still getting over a cough here. If you guys enjoy what I've mentioned here to you guys, again, please leave a comment. Tell me you liked it. Leave me a thumbs up. Leave me any kind of comment, and I'd really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to leave them below. I'll answer those right away. I love interacting with everybody, stuff like that. And there's also some other opportunities and stuff there below. I'm trying to build a community for this, so I have a Patreon page as well. So head over there where you can see me developing games. I have Rising Legends live plays there that are exclusive to those a part of the club there. And what that's also going to do is, because I'm a game designer, That will also allow you guys to get first dibs on play testing my games for free. You guys get everything for free. I send it to you, send you the files, whatever. And then when things go up on Kickstarter or whatever I do, it's you guys, because you guys have been helping me and supporting me. Not mandatory. You don't have to do it. If you guys like just the YouTube videos, that's fine too. I appreciate it either way. But just want to throw that out there just to let you guys know that it's out there. So anyways, guys, I'm going to stop here. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope I was able to demystify the solo role-playing space a bit for you guys, and give you guys some information that I hope will be useful to you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will talk with you guys again very soon. Take care. Deuces.